Welcome to the Impactors Podcast. I'm Corey Carter.
And I'm Ron Cool.
And we are the owners and founders of Hindsight HacKing Media, agency, podcasts, funnels, graphics, and more. Head on over to gethhm.com to learn more.
Guys, we created this podcast to help you go create an impact today. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. We're taking all the fluff, all the BS out so you can go create an impact.
And today's topic is
find a who. Do you have a coach?
That is right, Ron. Something I have found so amazing about the online world is pretty much anybody I look up to, pretty much anybody I see that I appreciate and admire them, they all have a coach.
Absolutely.
Every single one. And guess what? So do we, right? If you are hear this and you are trying to coach people, I guarantee you better have a coach. If you're coaching people without being a coach, I will never pay you.
Shame on you.
Yeah, 100%. So my question is, why is it so important for someone to have a coach, first of all?
I think I want to jump to your third question that you're going to ask me, but I won't.
Yeah, follow my lead, Rod.
I'm holding on. Why is it so important? Because at the end of the day, you have to continue to grow. You have to become, and we talked about this on an early episode, you have to become the who you need to be for your business. And guess what? You can't do it by yourself. You can't, because you're not objective enough to hold yourself accountable how you need to be to become the who you need to be. So you have to have a coach. Have to.
Yep. Some way, shape, or form, you have to have somebody you're listening to. And it's awesome to read a book. It's incredible to listen to podcasts. It's amazing to watch people teach things. But there is no replacement for having an actual person see what you're doing and give you feedback on it.
Yep.
Right?
True.
So now do you have a coach, right? Like we've talked about, everyone should have one. We should be bettering ourselves to grow. And as we mentioned the other day, you have to be able to become a different person to get your business to a different level, right? And so you have to be growing, and finding a coach in some way, shape, or form is part of that process. And now my next question is, how do you know it's the right coach? How do you know what kind of coach you need? How do you find that person? Because I know you and I, through our journey, I mean, even before we made the switch online, we had that coach that was talking to us about our avatar at Einstein's when we were not ready to hear it.
Right.
But we'll never forget it because we had that coach
for
that time period. So how do you know what kind of coach to get, and where do you go looking?
I hope you're really going to ask the question I'm hoping you're asking, and I think you are. So I'm again not going to go to that. Not to go to that, but you have to find someone that aligns with your overall value structure of your life. They have to align with you on a level that you can resonate with them, right? So you have that connection with them. You have to be open, vulnerable. They have to be willing to accept that. And you have to know and feel that they have your best interest in mind, and it's not about the money. Right?
Yeah.
Because I know anybody listening, if I said, hey, I'm $20,000 a year, Corey's $20,000 a year, so you give us 40,000, you're going to make $1 million. They're going to give us $40,000. Right? I would never say that, because it's not about the money. Right? It's not about the money. And that's what a lot of coaches do. So understand where you're trying to go, who you want to be, who you want to surround yourself with. They had to have success in what they're coaching you in as well. So if you hire I'm going to say podcast coach, but they've never helped anyone be a podcast or have a podcast, launch a podcast, edit a podcast, anything with a podcast, they're probably a bad coach because they're not the subject matter expert in what you're trying to do. Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where I'm at on that one.
Yeah. And, you know, and my 2 cents to this, and maybe you can add on to it, but once you and I, our very first coach, like we understood that first principle, we need to be different people. We need a person to help us get to become a different person. Right.
Yep.
And then at first we were like, oh man, like this coach looks amazing. This coach looks amazing. But guess what? All these amazing people seemed perfect for us because we didn't have our avatar figured out. We didn't have
dang avatar,
our offer figured out. We didn't have that stuff. So every coach looked amazing. And so to anybody out there, when you're ready to have a coach, I think it's important to understand what your offer is and who you're serving, because once you know that, then it'll be easier to understand what type of coach you need. And that's like now, Ron, you and I, for the last 18 months, like we've gone very specifically with, okay, we need this skill set. We need to be better at this for our business. Who out there has that skill set and can teach us? Right. So now I'm not even going to ask the question because I know you're ready to share.
Ready.
Go.
I'm ready. It was hard. It was hard to hold back. But this is like super important because I think so many people fall into this trap. I know we did. There's a lot of voices out there. And they're all saying amazing things. And they're all right in their own way. But they will confuse you because they're all different. Limit the amount of voices you're listening to as a coach. You have one coach. Corey and I, we're allowed to have two because there's two of us. One coach for yourself that teaches you what to do and helps you along the journey and helps you stay crystal clear and focused and helps you get to your goals. Do not start listening to 3 or 4 and grabbing shiny objects. That is easy way out. And I'm telling you, you're going to fail. Period. You're gonna fail.
Yep. So if you are at a point where you don't know who you're serving and what your offer is, like go find somebody that's really good at that. Right. Again, we can help you for free to figure out who you're going to serve, but we can have other conversations beyond that. But I'm just, to Ron's point, it's so incredibly important to just have that one coach during that one time period, right? Like I wanted to be better at sales. So I found somebody that had a 90-day program that was all about sales in the manner that I want to do sales. Because Ron and I, we are not going to be hardcore sales people in your face. Like you must take our thing now. No, we are going to find the right ways to nurture the right relationships across the time periods that we want to do. Right? Like that's the type of sales people we need. So therefore, I had somebody that would help me be better at that. We wanted to run an amazing challenge. We found somebody that had a 90-day program to walk us through every single step to run the 90-day program, right? And these were step-by-step things, right? So anybody out there, it's awesome to go get a year-long coaching program, but make sure if you're going to be in it for a year, what is the outcome that you're going to get? And then my last piece, any coach you have, 100%, it can't be about the money. Ron already said that. It's got to be about the result. What result are you trying to achieve that coach can supply you with?
Yeah. And they had to have shown success in that. And look, before you hire a coach, ask for references, ask for referrals. If they're not willing to do that, then they're probably the wrong person. Okay. All right. As always, no fluff, no BS, just impact. Go make some.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more, head on over to impactorsmastermind.com. We have a special group waiting just for you.
Guys, why are you still listening to this? Get off your phone, go create an impact today.